Bub Carrington drops a career-high 32 points, but the Wizards do lose to the Orlando Magic at home, 102-97. And then we're going to answer a question tonight. Could the Wizards be a playoff team next season? It's going to be hard, but hey, let's talk about it next on Locked On Wizards.
You are Locked On Wizards, your daily Washington Wizards podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy Brandon Scott again, aka BScott, with my guy Abdullah, aka AB. And we are both credentialed members of the media for the Washington Wizards and your host for Locked On Wizards. So tonight we have a lot to talk about. The Wizards do lose to Orlando Magic 109-97, but Bub Carrington, good Lord, drops a career high 32 points. B-More's finest, man. Charm City's finest, Bub Carrington. So we're going to look at the positives from tonight's loss to the Orlando Magic. And then we're going to look at Chris Middleton made some comments that he thinks the Wizards could be a playoff team next season. Could it be a little too soon? Come on, we're going to talk about it. So first things first, Washington Wizards again do lose to the Orlando Magic 109-97 at home. So AB, like I said, we're going to try to look at the positives. I think we all know the reasons why they lost. They did make it a game in the third quarter, but ultimately they fell. Some questionable calls, but like I said, what are some positives tonight? And obviously, I know what you're going to say, Bub Carrington.
Come on now. BC, 32 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists. A night where the Wizards, Jordan pulls out your leading scorer. Someone had to step up, and this young guy, is he even 20 years old yet, B? Are you freaking kidding me? Again, Bub Carrington is proving why we don't need to draft a guard in this upcoming draft, man. This kid is talented. From Pittsburgh, shout out to the ACC. He stepped up big tonight. That third quarter, shout out to Marcus Smart, bringing that spark back in the team. The Magic were pulling away, and in that fourth quarter, it's just the Magic show why they're a better team. They have more talent. Paulo Banchero, Franz Wagner are ballers. I'm telling you, Paulo Banchero is going to be the face of the league within a couple of years. So at least I know it's hard because again you're a losing team. You're not going to the playoffs, but seeing Bub Carrington drop a career high near triple double, you got to be optimistic about that.
Oh, I agree, man. I mean, come on now. Bub Carrington's a dog. We said it from the beginning, man. I mean, he can flat out just score, shoot the three-point shot, the mid-range. Drew Gooden kind of mentioned it tonight in the broadcast that once he figures out a consistent paint game, the kid's going to be a star. And I said all the time, all 5 draft picks underneath Will Dawkins are hits. I mean, Bilal Coulibaly, a hit. Tristan Vucevic, a hit. I mean, Bub Carrington, a hit. Alex Sarr, a hit. I mean, come on now. Call that man a sniper because there's nothing but hits. I'm just saying, like, Bub Carrington looked good tonight. You know, he knew that he had to pick up the slack with JP13 being out of the lineup, man, and he performed. I mean, like you said, 32 points, but very efficient. 12 for 18 from the field. Good Lord. And 3-point shooting, 7 for 10. Sniping. Come on now. Is Tom Berger up here? Because he was straight sniping. I'm just trying to tell you, man. I mean, it tells you that the future is bright. Bub Carrington, 14th overall pick, and he looks like he's the real deal. I mean, I'm in awe of what he did tonight, man. Like I said, I get it. We lost, but I'll take this because we've been saying it all year long, AB, which is it's not about wins and losses this season, and probably not even next season. It's about progression of young talent. And when you see Bub Carrington have a performance like this, and again, you know, all 5 guys have had their moments this season where they've had dominating performances. I mean, Keyshawn George has had performances where it's like, wow, 24th overall. Come on now. Tristan Vucevic, again, has had good performances. I mean, we are heading in the right direction. And like I said, I'm very optimistic and very excited because when's the last time you've been this excited, AB? I mean, this is the best core we've had in a long time, if not ever, as far as having a young foundation. This is the best foundation we've ever had, in my opinion. If you want to look at the John Wall era, I mean, John Wall and Bradley Beal, I say it all the time, they were obvious picks in their drafts. Otto Porter, I think, was overreached, but and then everybody else were either, you know, trades. You know, Marshall and Gauthier would traded over from Phoenix. You know, Markieff the same for Phoenix. But as far as a legitimate foundation, this is the best foundation we've had in DC. I mean, it's not even close. All 5 draft picks look like they're the real deal. And we still got 4 more first-round picks in the next couple of drafts, which are loaded drafts. I'm just trying to say, you know, tonight was Bub Carrington's show. Charm City's finest. I mean, not only is he an offensive sniper, not only can he, with that quick trigger, man, with that quick release, but defensively, I love the chip on the shoulder. I love the attitude. I love the culture they're building here, man. You know, I love the attitude. It's not attitude to where it's a detriment to the team where people are getting into fights. No, it's an attitude where they're playing tough. And obviously you want to see more attitude, more of that mentality and that culture on a consistent basis because we've been kind of Jekyll and Hyde all year long, but when you see performance like this, where they hung around with a really good team. Orlando, they've dealt with a lot of injuries. With Paulo Banchero's had a lot of injuries. Franz Wagner had a lot of injuries, but in the early part of the season, they were a top 6 team, so they had talent over there. This is not a scrub team over there in Orlando. So they played a really good team, and they held their own for the most part. That third quarter, they really made it a game, AB, even though the first half was not their finest performance. So, like I said, that was obviously one big plus tonight. 9 rebounds for a guard. Come on, man. 7 assists. Flirted with a triple-double. But he wasn't the only one. Marcus Smart is a big reason why they made it a game. That third quarter was because of Marcus Smart. He came in, hit a couple key 3-pointers, man. AB, come on now. He's got gas left in the tank. And that's why I think they need to keep him and Chris around. Keep him around because they still got gas left in the tank. Marcus Smart can still contribute. So is that where you're at, AB? Do you think that they should definitely consider keeping them around beyond next year?
Oh, definitely. Because again, these guys are veterans on a losing team. They could easily just, pull a vet day off and say, "Oh, I'm out for the rest of the season." But Marcus Smart still going out there and producing and being a leader for this team, when the leaders before they came into this team were just very questionable and they were shot chucking. So at the end of the day, Marcus Smart, Chris Middleton, I think they should be here for the long term because they can develop these young guys. They can be mentors because, again, a guy like Bub Carrington can learn a lot from Marcus Smart because Marcus Smart has been here for a while and he's been a tenacity on defense, bringing the energy. And Chris Middleton, we all know what he can do. He was a champion at Milwaukee. So at the end of the day, with this Wizards team, you got these young guys balling out, but make sure that you have that balance with the vets, and the vets are producing. So you got to give credit is due to Marcus Smart.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they're not the prime version of themselves, but it's all good because we're not expecting that. Because if they were, they wouldn't be here. Let's be real. I mean, they still got gas left in the tank. I mean, Rashawn Holmes, I love his energy. He's another guy where it's like when you look at center depth, obviously Alex Sarr and Tristan Vucevic are the future as center going forward. And again, looking at Tristan Vucevic, our guy. Shout out to W Mans, just saying. But like I said, the biggest highlight to me is the scouting department. Because if you look at the tangibles of what kind of players they're looking at, I say it all the time. They're picking prospects who are coachable, who want to get better. I mean, these are high character guys. I mean, these 5 draft picks underneath Will Dawkins, man. I mean, these guys have gotten better every single week. And the fact that we found 3 high impact rookies and considered in a weak draft, that goes to scouting. There's a new regime here. There's a new sheriff in DC, man. It is no longer Tommy Shepard. I mean, you got a legitimate, competent general manager in Will Dawkins, man. The scouting department here in DC, and that's what I'm saying is when people look at what's going on in DC, they look at the win-loss record. Now, I'm trying to tell you, like behind the scenes, man, just from a media standpoint, just from somebody is kind of behind the curtain, they're doing all the right things behind the curtain, man. Revamped scouting department. The coaching staff is all about development. I mean, this front office is, looking at, good old-fashioned scouting, but then they're looking at analytics. I mean, they're looking at every avenue to make this team better. And I'm telling you, they check all the boxes. This organization has all the right people in the right spots, man. And that's one big reason why you should be optimistic as a fan, is that I get it. Look, we've won 17 games, but we still get 1 more games than last year. It's progression. And we're probably going to win more games next year. And, like I said, we're going to get into could he make the playoffs, but give him another year. I mean, let him develop because you see the light at the end of the tunnel with this team. I mean, you see it. Bub Carrington dropped 32 points, and he did it with relative ease. Efficient. And to me, when you look at the fact that you got JP13, you got Bub Carrington, AJ Johnson, that is your guard rotation right there. I mean, shout out to DC Hoopla. I'm with you. I don't think we even need to sniff a point guard in the draft.
And you still have Sadiq Bey. B was coming out of injury.
Sadiq Bey. I mean, look at the roster construction. There's a new sheriff in town in DC, man. The roster construction just screams that there's finally competency here. This young core, AJ Johnson. I mean, here's another positive. High flyer, man. I mean, he went up and he met Wendell Carter Jr. at the rim, man, and still had enough strength. I mean, he's strong that's the thing. He's strong. He's a tweener, but he still has strength. You want to add a little bit more, but his intangibles they wow you, man, because for a guy who's kind of on the skinny side, he went up there and he met a center up at the rim, and he still had enough strength to still with his right hand, still make that layup, man. So I'm impressed with this young core. I really am. I'm very excited about the future. Very optimistic about, this front office building this into a championship contender, man, because a rebuild was sorely needed here in DC, and they're doing it the right way. They're not cutting corners. They're doing it the hard way. But look, that's the way you need to do it, man. Sometimes you need that hard work. You need to do it the hard way, man. And like I said, it looks good, AB. So again, AB, before we roll, anything else you want to cover as far as the Magic and Wiz game, man?
No, man, the Orlando Magic again, like they're a team where I remember the John Wall Bradley Beal days. We used to beat up on them a lot. It was like an easy win every time we watched, but now it's kind of tables are turned. But hopefully those tables will come back because this Magic team, this is going to be a team where we're going to see in the playoffs eventually. Because Paulo, I mean, like I mentioned before, he's a dog, and Franz Wagner is also a great scorer, and Wendell Carter is a beast as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how their futures pan out because they have a lot of young guys too.
Oh no, don't get it wrong. I mean, I think that Orlando's going to be one of our biggest rivals in the next 3 to 4, as far as being that obstacle, not only winning the division but claiming the Eastern Conference. I think Orlando is a young and dangerous team. I think they need to make that one big acquisition, man, because Banchero and Wagner, that's a great core to build on, man. Obviously, you got Cole Anthony, you got the list goes on. I mean, Anthony Black, they got a nice young team. I will say this. I got a gripe though. I will say this. I'm a big fan of Banchero, but man, he gets some calls tonight. I mean, there was a few calls where it's like they gave him a foul and he barely got touched. And there was one foul where Bub just put his arms up and they called him for a foul. And then there's a play where Ben Carroll like literally takes his elbow for leverage and it's like, oh, well, we saw nothing that would indicate it was a foul. It's like, come on, man. The consistency, like I get real tired of the star treatment. Call a fair game. Stop it. There should be no star treatment. If they're a star, they don't need the officials to help them. I'm just saying, I hate that star treatment. I really do. There was a lot of questionable calls, and you could argue all year long. There's been really a lot of trash calls from the referees. And like I said, I'm not a player or part of the team, man, so I can trash the referees without getting fined. So, some bad calls tonight. But like I said, nothing, not to take anything away from Orlando. A lot of young talent on the team, but hey, we got some young talent too, AB. I'm trying to tell you, man, we are definitely heading in the right direction. So, man, could the Wizards make a playoff run next year? Maybe, but a lot has to go right for them to do so. We're going to talk about that. But before we do, tonight's episode is brought to you by 5 Hour Energy. Daylight savings snuck up on us again. And if you're feeling that lost hour of sleep, 5 Hour Energy has your back, y'all. The extra sunshine means more time for fun, but sometimes you need a little boost to power through. Whether you're staying up late watching the NCAA tournament, squeezing in around the golf after work, or just trying to keep up with the kids, man. 5 Hour Energy gives you that quick, refreshing pick-me-up whenever you need it. Like I said, I'm a dad. I work. Sometimes in that afternoon, I need a little boost, man, to get through the day. Do yourself a favor. Head to FireEnergy.com to find over 15 flavors to choose from, including watermelon, blue raspberry, and peach mango. You can even build your own 12-pack or 24-pack delivered right to your front door. Need one now? Grab a 5 Hour Energy shot at your local grocery or convenience store. They're everywhere. Stock up today and stay energized. 5 Hour Energy, y'all. Tonight's episode is also brought to you by WayFair. Spring is here, and that means it's home project season. Whether you're refreshing the room or tackling your food renovation, Wayfair is the best kept secret for all things home improvement-wise. For small updates like stylish cabinet hardware to major upgrades like new vanities, sinks, or outdoor lighting, Wayfair has quality products for every budget, whether you're rich, poor, or in between. You could definitely refurb your house with Wayfair. Wayfair makes home improvement easy. Get started now at wayfair.com. That's WAYFAIR.com. Wayfair, every style, every home. All right, AB, let's get back into it, man. So the question of the night is, and what we're about to cover next is, Chris Middleton made a comments earlier about 2-3 weeks ago, where he thought that the Wizards could definitely make a playoff run in 2026. So, AB, do you think they can do that? Yes or no? What has to go right, and what could potentially go wrong?
As much as I want to say yes, I think it's a little too soon. B, again, maybe the play-in, but a run, and it's just too early. I mean, even if you get Cooper Flag, I don't think you can get on that run because, again, this is a young team, and you have a lot depending on it. You have to depend on Bilal making the year 3 jump offensively and that high motor that he has. Hopefully, Alex Sarr develops into that center that you want him to be, and the adjustments of these young guys, and maybe you trade some of these guys like Corey Kispert. So, and in the Eastern Conference, it's getting better. You got Boston, you got Milwaukee, you got Cleveland. I don't know what Philly's gonna do, New York. So it's gonna be a lot of moves. A lot of things have to go in their way for it to happen. I could potentially see playing if they get Cooper Flag and everything goes well, but I think playoff to even get that 6th or 5th, I think it's highly, highly impossible. But again, anything is possible, and if they're ahead of schedule, that's great. But again, I wouldn't be disappointed if they don't make the playoffs.
Hey man, like Kevin Garnett once said, nothing's impossible. I'm just saying, anything's possible. I'll say that a lot has to go right. I definitely think they need another year of development. Now, I know a lot of people have been saying, look, we need to have a playoff run next year, definite. I don't think it's definite because It's that trying to speed up the timeline, which got us in trouble the last two eras. When it came to John Wall era, we sped it up. When it came to not so much Gilbert Arenas because not a lot of that team was actually drafted. But looking at the John Wall and then subsequently the Bradley Beal era, I mean, it was trying to build for the middle, trying to hurry things up and be that one and done in the first round. I don't want a one and done in the first round. I want a championship. I mean, if we were just trying to make the playoffs just for playoff revenue, Bradley Beal would still be bouncing the ball off his foot. I mean, we chose a new direction for a reason because, and I say it all the time, maybe if a championship trophy is not your goal at the beginning of the season or at some point in your timeline, you've already failed. And by trying to make a push, by really trying to push these guys prematurely, you could probably have the negative effect on them. Give them another year. Give them another year of development and then go from there. Because, like I said, a lot of decisions need to happen between the then and then, man. I mean, you don't want to make – because, look, like I said, what has to go right? Well, number one, you need to get certain performance out of these vets. You're still banking that Chris Middleton, Rashawn Holmes, Marcus Smart, even Sadiq Bey still have some gas left in the tank, and you can still be key contributors, which I still think they can. But look, Marcus Smart's dealing with that finger injury. How serious can that be? I mean, it didn't look too bad tonight. I'm just saying, but it has been an issue. Chris Middleton has had issues with his ankles. Sadiq Bey, how does he come back from the ACL injury? Rashawn Holmes, very limited. Where does he fit in the rotation center-wise when you got Tristan Vucevic and Alex Sarr, who are modern-day bigs? So there's question marks, can they replicate what they've done in the second half of the season? What else? You need massive steps from these young guys. And while we all see the potential, have they played well enough to be a playoff team? No. You see the potential of all five of these draft picks. You can even add, say, 6 because A.J. Johnson is a rookie. So can they eventually be key contributors on a playoff team? Absolutely. All of them are dogs. All of them are key contributors in the future, but they have to be at a certain, a serious level. I mean, they need to make serious leaps and bounds for us to be a playoff team, man, because, the Eastern Conference is weak, but still, I mean, in a lot of ways, these guys are still raw. None of them are finished products, and you're expecting, it takes finished products to be a playoff team. So what's up next?
You can't give up 162 points. I'll tell you that, man, if you want to make a playoff run.
Nah, you cannot give up 162 points, man, but a lot of it has to go right. I believe they will be a playoff team. I think they will be a championship team. I believe that this core is the foundation we need to be that championship team. All 6 of the draft picks, I say 6, even though we didn't pick A.J. Johnson, but let's be real. It is what it is. But all 6 of these guys look like they're going to be key contributors. And I say it all the time. We still got 4 more first-round picks and pick swaps and second-round picks. I mean, and we still got guys in Kobe Jones. We still got, this team is heading in the right direction, but give them another year. That's kind of where I'm at. Give them another year. So that's kind of the question tonight. You guys get in the comment section. Let us know, do you guys agree, disagree, and why? So we're going to get in the comments. But before we do, AB, real quick, because I don't want to cut you short, man. As far as making playoffs at 2026, you got anything else you want to cover or you straight?
Nah, man. Again, it would be awesome because, we haven't been in the playoffs. And what was the last time? 2020? No, am I mistaken?
It was the Russ year, so it was 2021.
2021. Yes. Okay. It would be awesome, but at the end of the day, it's not worth rushing a product that could eventually be a championship team. So at the end of the day, I think for me, winning 25 plus games next year would be 30 would be awesome, but I just don't see a playoff run because again, a young squad and everything has to go right, and also like making sure all the guys are healthy as well. So this is going to be interesting to see how it pans out. And I only see a scenario where they make the playoffs if they get the number 1 overall pick. If they don't get the number 1 overall pick, I don't see any scenario where they make the playoffs. But again, anything's possible, as our boy KG says.
Anything's possible, right? I remember that like it was yesterday, man. So is it possible? Yes. But I think give them another year to develop, and we will definitely be on the right track. So let's get in the comments. But before we do, y'all, tonight's episode is brought to you by OpenPhone. Running a small business means you're wearing a lot of hats. Your personal phone becomes your business phone. And before you know it, you're juggling customer calls day and night. As your team grows, it becomes impossible to manage everything with just your personal number. That's where OpenPhone comes in. It's the #1 business phone system designed to help you keep your work and personal life separate. For just $15 a month, the cost of a few coffees, that is, you get complete transparency and visibility into everything happening with your business phone number. OpenPhone works through an app on your phone or computer and integrates with tools like HubSpot and hundreds of others. It also uses AI-powered call transcripts and summaries, so you'll have a rundown of your calls and action items the second you hang up the phone. And if you miss a call, no problem. Automated messages are sent directly to your customer, ensuring you never miss an opportunity. So right now, OpenPhone is offering 20% off your first 6 months when you go to openphone.com/LockedOnNBA. That's OpenPhone.com/LockedOnNBA for 20% off your first 6 months. OpenPhone.com/LockedOnNBA. And if you have existing numbers with another service, OpenPhone will port them over at no additional charge. Come on now. All right, AB, let's go ahead and close this thing out, man. Let's get into comments, man. Like I said, we got a lot of comments tonight, so definitely appreciate everybody taking time out of the night to rock with your boys, man. So we're gonna start it off like we always do. Lock the Law says, can the Wizards win back-to-back games? Probably not. How many called it? But they made it a game in the third quarter. They definitely made it a game in the third quarter. A Right Production says, Bub, are you even human? I'm telling you, man. AB, how excited are you, man? Bub's gonna be a star. What are you thinking?
Carlton, man. Again, 32, nearly triple double. It's just not even 20 years old. And I get it. You still want people are still saying that we lost a Denny trade, but I'm telling you, a couple of years from now, I think we win it, man. And Denny's been balling, but the Carrington's versatility is just insane, and he just adds another dimension that we just haven't seen so long here in the guard position.
I mean, look, I know that's been like a hot topic lately, the whole Denny. And look, shout out to Turbo, man. I love the fact that he's doing well in Portland, but that ship has sailed. The emphasis is Bub Carrington, and sometimes trades are win-wins. I mean, Phillip Rivers and Eli Manning, that was a win-win. They both got a quarterback. So I'm just saying, sometimes there's a win-win trade. And I think this is a win-win. I think Portland got their guy, and I think we got our guy, and we got our pick. So everybody won in that scenario. Sheldon T, what's up, man? Love Bub's game. He's going to be that kind of guy that championship caliber teams have. Amen. Contributes, Lord, in many ways. Tough and can have one of those games like tonight where he's on. Man, I don't know. I'm gonna ask you, AB. As far as and I know that it is really positionless basketball, right? Versatility is the name of the game. But if you had to pencil him in, are you thinking shooting guard or point guard? Because I can see both, but man, his scoring potential just wows you. What are you thinking, man?
Yeah, it's tough because again, like he can dime the ball as well, and is a great rebounder. So I don't know, man. Just because also I'm a big JP guy, so I would like to see both of them play at the same time. So I would say put Bub at the 2. But again, if he's going out there diming the ball out like it's nothing, maybe even try him out the 1. But either way, he's going to contribute no matter what position he's at.
Yeah, I agree. That was a good answer. That was a good one, man. I agree 100%. Poolabali says, do you guys think Bub makes Poole expendable? Nah, not right now. I mean, Poole's a fringe all-star. I mean, Bub still has ways of, he needs to go as far as development. But, I mean, good Lord. I mean, you see the light in the tunnel with him. I think that, we said all the time, maybe, we made it known that contracts could be an issue. Could he eventually? Yeah. But like I said, I think we both agreed that we both would like to see JP13 here long term, but they can't pay everybody. So, Bub could, we'll see. They got a lot of hard choices going for him, man. He could, but here's the thing, is there a way to have both of them? I think you have to explore it because, you got to get to a point, going into year 3 of rebuild. This is build on what you have. I was an advocate for the last couple of years that you trade some of these vets, trade them for picks and go from there. But I think that with the team you have, I think we're at the point where you continue to build. Now, it's not going to stop the front office from, looking at deals, man. If they get a deal that's too good to pass up, then you make that move, man. But like I said, you got a fringe all-star. You got nice veterans. You got a nice young core. Build on that, especially if you go get a Cooper Flag or Dylan Harper or Ace Bailey. You're really close. Who's to say they can't make a run in the second half of next year? I'm just saying there's a lot of possibilities. I'm not, we already talked about playoffs next year, but, there's a lot of possibilities. There's a lot of optimism that hasn't been here forever. Like, there's just energy with this franchise right now that we didn't have 5 years ago. And that's just what it is. There's some energy, there's optimism that we haven't had in a long time, probably since the John Wall era, man. So people are excited about this young squad and what they're building here in DC. Let's see. We got a couple answers real quick. I'm not going to get too deep with their answers, but Sheldon T says, at Locked on Law, this team is awful enough with Poole that I doubt the league thinks him out is tanking. Let's see. And then Locked on Law says Poole is expendable anyway. They have too many guards. I think, those 3 guards, I think is a good rotation, man. Shout out to my guy Locked on Law, man. But I think those 3 guards, you don't need to look at guard. In my opinion, all 3 have shown that they can be key contributors in the future. Let's see. Sheldon T also says, I don't yet. Poole is a scorer. This team doesn't really have another consistent scorer. Absolutely. Yeah, we definitely need another score, man. And I think we definitely need to get one in the draft. Maybe if they get Dylan Harper or someone, yeah, I agree. All right, let's see. A lot of good comments, man. Can't get to them all, man. I hate that because I'd be on her all night, man. But I wish I could. Let's see. No Limit White says Wizards will be a playoff team next year. Okay, I could rock with that take. All right, I can rock with that. Now my question for you is why? Why do you think so? So let me know, man. He also says we need Coop. We need anybody in the top 3. I'm trying to tell you, but we are definitely in the right situation, man. NBA News says, what are your thoughts on the Wizards finding a way to trade for D-Book? JP would get help, fits the timeline, gives me total Spada Mitchell vibes when he got traded to Cleveland. He'd bring DC that chip. Wow. You know what? I'd be intrigued, to be honest with you. AB, I'm gonna let you have this because I'm actually intrigued, man.
The thing is right now, and Phoenix, I mean, they're falling apart. It's actually, I don't know why it's not talked about. I think KD is going to be out here this offseason, but D-Book, I wonder how much his trade value is right now. And again, eventually you're going to have to, you want to make that Donovan Mitchell type move, like NBA News mentioned. But again, I don't know, because if you have D-Book is special, he really is. Yeah. But at the end of the day, I don't know. I haven't even thought about him. I just can't imagine him being out of Phoenix because he was basically raised there ever since he was a child out of Kentucky. So I don't know. This is going to be really interesting to see. I still love our young guys here. I wouldn't trade any of the young guys right now, but down the line, if the value and we're not giving up that much to the point we're giving up like our future, I don't see why not. But again, as of right now, I'm chilling right now with a D-Book and whatever Phoenix is doing. They got to figure out what they want to do themselves.
I want to say yeah, because I mean that would be that pure scorer we need, man. But with all the contracts that are coming up for extensions, that'd be hard to have that contract, bring JP13 back, and still sign these young guys. That would be hard. I mean, the question is, would Ted be willing to go into the luxury? And even then, he's not going to go deep into the luxury, man. Like, you can't hold on to everybody. I would love a player like D-Book on this team because you put him next to JP13. Good Lord. I mean, that would be one heck of a scoring combo right there. Probably the best backcourt we've had since John Wall and Bradley Beal. That would be one heck of a backcourt. But like I said, you got to pay to play. And with D-Book, you're going to have to pay for the luxury. And then you still have to bring back Wall. Look at Wall, JP13. And then you still got Bilal's up for an extension. Tristan Vucevic, man. I mean, the list goes on.
And Star as well.
Actually, you got 3 guys in the previous draft that potentially will be up for an extension in the same year. Then you got 4 first-round picks in the next couple of drafts. So I said all the time, you're not going to be able to keep everybody. Not every young guy on this team is going to be on this team when we finally have that championship parade. They're not. It is what it is, man. Right now, they're still evaluating. So, my guy, the real it all. If I ain't talking about that guy in Buffalo, I'm talking about the homeboy here in the DMV. What's good, Ed? He said if we get Cooper and he leads us to the playoffs, then it's fine. I'm with you, man. Cooper Flag would definitely be that franchise altering pick, man. So, and he also says, "Sup, fellas? What's good, E? How you doing, man? Miss you, my brother." Let's see. No Limit White says, not trying to speed it up, but it's inevitable unless they blatantly tank. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm not gonna be upset, AB, if they do it. I mean, I'm not gonna sit there and say, no, don't go to the playoffs now. I mean, I'll be happy. It's just, to me, I think they need another year of development, especially for these young guys. I mean, this last draft, these guys are rookies. Like, you're expecting major development in year 2 for them to be part of a playoff run. I mean, is it impossible? No, but if it's me, I'd give them another year to develop. And then in year 4, you look to make that move. But even then, year 4 is an expiring contract with JP, expiring contract with Sadiq Bey, and potentially with Corey Kiss. But even though we both think he'll probably be moved in the offseason. So like I said, a lot of tough decisions, man. Oh, Fred Fezzo, man, messing with Ed, man. Says Ed, the real coffee. Oh, man, messing with my guy, man. John Hickens, man, is just on the show. Appreciate you, man. We definitely gonna have you back on, Jay Hip. He says, I love the energy they played with. Absolutely. The energy was on fire tonight. All right, let's see, guys. Like I said, we are at 29-minute mark. So I'm going to try to knock out, I don't know, that 3 to 4 comments real quick and call it a night. Dan Tico 84 was good, man. Says, took the family to the Wiz and Kings game last night, and I saw a fight in the young boys. This team needs to be aggressive. I agree 100%. Last night, you saw that fight, man. That fight we've been yearning for. We just need to see it on a consistent basis. We got to start with the Jekyll and Hyde routine. Like, this team, when they're on point, AB. So I agree 100% about that. Uptown Dre was good, brother. Says, yo, my brothers, what's good, homie? Says, steady improvement with the youngsters. Each night is a different rookie. What a prospering future. Absolutely. Let's see. Thomas Montgomery says, how do you feel about a future backcourt of Bub and AJ? I mean, in the event if they move on from JP13, that's not a bad backcourt. But, to me, you got to have 3 guards. Because you got to have that combo guard off the second unit, man. So, to me, I see AJ as that combo guard coming off the second unit, that 6-man. And there's nothing wrong with that because every championship team needs that microwave scorer coming off the bench, man. It's not to say that AJ can't start because he's been in the immaculate job start now. So, but like I said, people often get too deep into starters or stars. Championship teams need role players. Look at the numbers, AB. There's a bigger chance you're a role player than you're going to be a starter or a star. And it is what it is. Like, more guys in this league are role players than they are stars or starters. And it is what it is, man. Like, I always say that every championship team, the role players were the most important piece. Nothing from the starting 5, but you need that second unit. Look at the Knicks. The Knicks are so front loaded in the starting 5 that they have no bench. And that's going to be a detriment. That's the one reason why the Cleveland Cavaliers or the Boston Celtics are going to be the favorite coming out of the East, because New York, yeah, they have talent, but all the talent's in the starting 5. They have no bench. You got to have the role guys, man. So
you can't put your eggs in one basket, right, B?
There you go. Let's see. It says, laugh out loud, man. It says last year was a rough year with the call, man. I mean, yeah, you just couldn't get that call, B. But like I said, it's definitely, I'm glad you're feeling better, brother. So let's see. We're gonna try to knock out a few more, y'all. I hate to miss anybody's comments, man. Zai was good. It says he's a point guard. He can run an offense. He can't quite create his own shot without a pick and roll enough at a high level to be a 2. Okay, I can respect it. I agree. Like I said, there's definitely ways he needs to go before he's a legitimate shooting guard. So I agree with that take. I definitely agree with that, man. Let's see. Couple more comments. Thomas Montgomery says, this is a deep draft. I know we are guard heavy, but watch out for BPA after 5 with picks being Trey Johnson or Jeremiah Fears. I do like Jeremiah Fears, but Trey Johnson's a guy I really, really like. You can argue he's probably one of the best scorers in this draft. Trey Johnson, man. Yes, sir. Dan TK804 says, I think you keep pulling around for the foreseeable future. You have to realize who broke the 3-point shooting record in less than 2 years. Look, great point. I mean, and this leads to a question real quick, AB. When we look at respect, as far as guys here in DC, Gilbert Arenas, Bradley Beal, John Wall, even other lesser known stars, and if you really want to get, in the name, but why is it that Poole doesn't get that respect, man? Like, last year I get it, up and down, but last year, even though on this very platform we said, he was criticized for those struggles, I always said he's got too much talent not to figure it out. But he just broke the record for the most 3-pointers in a season, held by Bradley Beal. I mean, what's up, man? Like, you know what I mean? What's up? I mean, tell me.
I think it's a combination of how it started off. It wasn't the greatest beginning for JP13 in his tenure in Washington, but I think the fans do want to see him get into that deep playoff run. I know with John, we never went to the Eastern Conference Finals, but it was fun that those first round, second rounds, the 360 layups, the dimes. So maybe with his 3-point shooting and his flashiness, it'll get there. But I say give it next year. When I think he will be an all-star, the Wizards fans will soon come around and realize that he is not that bad as they make him out to be.
Yeah, I mean, agree. Like I said, you give criticism where it's due and credit where it's due. And he's played at an all-star level. I mean, he's breaking records. I mean, if you look at his young squad, they're breaking records. I mean, this trio from the 2024 NBA draft, they're breaking records. I mean, if you look at the stats, we've got some of the best rookies in his class. I mean, this front office is legit. I'm just saying. All right, so we got some funny comments too, real quick before we're gonna read before we call it a night, man. And they kind of responded to our question. Let's see. Link says, I think folks just like the hate on JP because the rest of the internet does. Last year, the media, Shaq and the Fool, other kind of platforms kind of made it easy, not easy to hate on him, but kind of made it a popular thing to hate on him, and I get it up and down. But even then, AB, like how he responded in the second half of last season, to me, you got to respect that because he didn't complain. He didn't get in his feelings. He put his nose down. He worked. 6-man, he worked. Starting point guard with ties down, he worked. So all he's been doing is working. Like you can't hate on that. I mean, he's put work into his game. So Bree says the internet controls JP's narrative no matter how good he plays. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm with you on that. I think he's this close to being an all-star. And
I think also sorry to cut you off, but that whole Draymond Green scuffle and getting punched, I think a lot of people just assumed that he was a punk and was never a guy that could step up for himself, which sucks. But at the end of the day, JP13, the ability to improve from where he was last year to now, it's just a massive improvement that not a lot of people want to talk about. Only Wizards fans talk about, but it is what it is. And once this man becomes an all-star, once his team starts winning, then they'll start giving him respect.
Yeah, but even then, it's like you got to look at reputation. Like Draymond's the one with the reputation. Poole didn't have a reputation. I mean, Draymond's the one who did a two-step on Sabonis' nuts. I mean, let's be real. He's the one that's been kicking people in the nuts and all that. I mean, you know, I don't get it, man. I really don't. You know, that's just me. Lockton Law says, I don't hate JP13, but you get a first-round pick for him. It's hard to pass over. I mean, you can't. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I mean, if it's a good deal, you make the deal. But I just think that when you got a guy who's this close to being an all-star, who's just entering his prime, he's entering his prime right around the time we're going to start being a really good team. Like your prime in the NBA is what, 27 to 31. So he's still a year away. And he's going to be entering his prime right when his team is good, right when he's at the zenith of his capabilities. You hold on to that, man. Like and this is my opinion. You know, obviously opinions differ, but right now you build, especially if you add 2 more players in this draft coming up. I mean, you build on that. You are going to have a good team next year. They're going to be, all you need is development and chemistry. That's it, man. And this team's going to be young and dangerous. It's going to be, look, I'm going to call it now. In the next 3 to 4 years, your 3 top, I'm going to let you name the third team, but to me, the 3 most dangerous young teams in the next 3 to 4 years is going to be the Orlando Magic, the Washington Wizards, and I'm going to let you add, what other team could you kind of put in the mix as far as being a young and dangerous team in the Eastern Conference in the next 3 to 4 years?
It's hard, B. Oh, young team. Just because Boston is just so good right now, I still think they'll find a way to develop some young talent and be still contending in the Eastern Conference, which I hate to say, but they're just so good offensively, defensively, depth. They're starting 5. Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, one of the best duos in the NBA. It's going to be hard, but I think we're going to be there as well.
Yes, sir, indeed. So we're going to go ahead and call it a night. Definitely appreciate everybody. Shout out to everybody, man, who takes the time out of their day to rock with me and AB, man. Definitely appreciate. Remember Lee says Detroit. I like that one.
That's the one.
Yes, sir. I like that one. I can rock with that. So, all right, everybody. Like I said, definitely appreciate y'all taking time tonight to rock with us. We're gonna go ahead and call it a night. Now, real quick, we give you a itinerary because this is gonna be the last week of the season coming up, man. So coming up this week, as far as content and the schedule, Sunday they're at Boston. So there's gonna be a 6:00 game, so we're gonna be going live at 8:30 on Sunday. Tuesday at Indiana. Now, next Wednesday is the last home game of the season. The 76ers in town. I will be there covering the Washington Wizards. So I will be at the press conference. So we probably won't go live that night because I want to get in there and get those questions and answers for you guys. So we'll go live on that Thursday. And then Friday and Sunday next week at Chicago, at Miami, and that's it. Special guests coming up. We got some special guests coming up, man. Obviously, rapper Big Pooh of the rap group Little Brother coming on the show, man. The DMV's finest out of Western Virginia. Come on now. We're gonna have him back on the show. And we got stats and facts, man. If you don't follow them on IG, I definitely recommend you do, man. So we've got a lot of guests coming on the show, especially the off season coming up. So we're gonna get you guys excited about the draft, man. You know, in the first month after the season, we're gonna get into grades and everything like that. But closer we get to the draft, man, a lot of good content coming your way, man. So definitely stick around, man, and rock with your boys. So, all right, everybody, we're gonna go ahead and call it a night. We're gonna see everybody. No, matter of fact, we're not gonna see everybody tomorrow night, man. We're gonna take tomorrow night off. Nothing going on tomorrow night. So we will see everybody on Sunday. So for all you military vets, this is your weekend briefing, okay? Safety briefing. If you're in the military, you know what I'm talking about. Please, if you drink or smoke, stay at home. All right, do it at home. You know, you can order DoorDash. Shout out to DoorDash. I'm just saying, don't do it, guys. You can change somebody else's life in your own in the process, man. Do it at home. Enjoy the weather. Stay blessed, and we will see you guys on Sunday. Hail to the Wizards, and peace.